the population or the people. Okay, my dear students, look at this world map. If we draw the world map according to the population, then this will be the shape of the world map. What is the difference in this map along with the general world map? What do you see here, my dear students? Here we find China is very large one, right? It is drawn very big in size. Then after our India also drawn big one. It means this is a map based on the size of the population of the countries. The countries which are with a high population are shown with their area also large one. China is first in population size. It stands first in population, so it is shown very large. The next place comes to India, so it is also shown somewhat large. So this is the map in which the areas of the countries are shown according to the population of those countries. Yeah. Now the topic is very interesting. That is the population or the people. This is very important concept in our social studies. The population is very important concept, right? We want to know the development of the nations. We says that those are the nations are developed one and some other nations are underdeveloped one. So what is meant by developed nation? It mean it's people. When we refer to the development of a nation, it mean people in that nation. What that people in that nation, right? It mean all the people should get development equally, right? All the people should get development. So it is a population very important one, right? Here it is about the people who are in that nation to know whether they are developed or not. Especially when we think of it is marginalized people. What do you mean by marginalized? Those who are very poor. Understand? Such people, development is very essential. So we move with the idea of equality with reference to the people's development when we think of population. On other hand, we see that many people are blaming that population growth is the problem for all problems we face. When you ask someone that why do you not get a job, then they say that heavy competition. We know that many people are not getting sufficient food in their day to day life. The resources also not up to the mark and to the and to meet the needs of the people. When you stand in bus stand, you will find that many people rushing into the bus. That means they are not sufficient. When you move on the road in your vehicle, you find that many vehicles coming across and getting accident. It means the roads are not enough to meet the commuters. That means those who go by what you call vehicle, right? We observed that many people begging food and money on the roads. There is shortage of food. That means the food what we cultivate is not enough to meet the needs of the people. In fact, we have limited resources, and these limited resources we need to share with many more people. So people blame that lack of jobs, lack of jobs, food, resources is just because of overpopulation. In second chapter, we discussed that 92 percentage of the working population, 92 percentage of the working population engaged in unorganized sector, and many more are casual laborers. They are self-employed. Every day they struggle to find for the work. We have seen the example of Rajeshwari, and that is compared with Narsimha, who is in organized sector. And the best example is that we people, we people, the teachers, private teachers, eh, who do not have any security here. Now, many of the teachers have not working in their field due to the situation of corona. The management is also suffering. They are not able to provide employment to their workers due to the corona situation. So here, very pathetic situation it is. So people who are working in unorganized sector, they do not find any assurance in the job. They suffer with insecurity in job. They do not find work every day. They have to struggle for work. They find only security and support from their remaining family members. That may be their father, that may be their mother, or someone, maybe their wife, or some their neighbors. That is the only support we see to the people from their families, right? And they do not find any other social security in their life. Understand? So many people are suffering. They are not able to find jobs. Jobs are not enough to meet the unemployment and unemployed, right? Resources also not meeting the needs of us. So to know all these things, we need to study the population and its size, how population is there, how it is distributed in what to call everywhere. Understand? So we have to think of all those things in population. Let us see that the population, its distribution, its characteristics, and what aspects it have, right? So here, as per the 2011 census, In India, it is 121.07 is there. Sorry, 121.07. Yes, that is what you call 1,210 million people as per the 2011 census. So, what is meant by census here? Right? A census is a systematic procedure of acquiring and recording the information of population in a region. That means it is calculating the number of people in a nation or maybe a region that will be recorded in a systematic manner. So, a census is the procedure of systematically acquiring and recording information about population. That what we call census, and it is taken for every 10 years. Once for every 10 years, census is calculated. Okay, that what we call census. Understand? And this is the census calculated and recorded systematically by one special department called Registrar General and Census Commission, who calculates this census, right? That is what Registrar General, here it is there, Registrar General and Census Commission of India. This is an organization to acquire the information of the people, that is a census. So for every 10 years, once for every 10 years, census is calculated by the Registrar General and Census Commission. This organizes the collecting the data and recording the data of the people. That what we call census. Understand? So before we find more about the census, we have to do some survey, which is similar to the what to call census calculators. Okay, so it is the department that is the Registrar General and Census Commission organizes collecting the data. Understand? So actually, what does the census show here? Understand? Okay, we are discussing about census, but what does the census show? Here we see that it is what to call, it is referring to the age structure. In census we find people in different age groups, right? So a census shows age structure of the people, that is especially males and females in different age groups, right? So what is age structure? Age structure refers to the number of males and females in different age groups. That is called age structure. It is a number of males and females in different age groups is called age structure. And this is one important and very basic concept in population. It is important degree because it influences what is the capacity of the different age group people, and do they have the capacity to work, whether they are dependent on others. Okay, how many children are there in the population, right? How many old age people are there in population? what are their requirements and what are the requirements of the children. Like these, every information is shown with the census. Okay, in that age structure is the basic thing. Understand? When we come to know that if children are more in population, then government should focus on to the children needs and to their health related things, right? When it comes to the males and females in the age structure, if males are more and those are young one, then it is the responsibility of the government to provide employment to these youth. That means age structure will indicate that how the government has to go for taking the programs for development of the people, right? So the age structure in the census have classified people into different age structures. Okay, the population in any nation is categorized into three groups of age structures. One is what you call working age. Okay, then second is children, and third is old age. Okay, these are the three different group of people we find in population. The first one is children. Who are called children? People or individuals who have their age below 15 years. These are called children. And they are dependent on their family members, that is, their father and mother, for everything, for food, for clothing, for education, for medicine, for everything. They depend on their parents. So children are dependent and they do not earn any income, right? So we see that in some poor families, children are working outside along with their family members due to their poor economic conditions. And this is not a desirable thing. Child has to enjoy the childhood in getting education at school. And it is a crime if child works outside. So there is a lot of responsibility on the parents to provide the needs of the children. So children is one age group in age structure. They are dependent. Second is working age. This is very important group in age structure upon which the nation development depends. Working age. It is the age group from 15 above and 59 below. These are biologically reproductive. What in by biologically reproductive? They are able to add a number of individuals to the population, right? And most of the people in this age group, they need a good income and job security, and they earn some income for their family needs. They fulfill the needs of the children and aged who are above 59 years of age, who also depend on them, right? And whatever they earn, it becomes the income of the nation, right? What is national income? Income of all the individuals in a nation. Then who are the people earning the income? Working age. Working age. Understand? So if we find what to call much population in the working age, that would be good because it indicates the what the national income, right? They are very essential for the development of the nation. Understand? So who are called working age? People below 15, sorry, people above 15 and below 59 years. This is second age group in age structure. And the last and third age group in age structure is aged. Who are called aged? Those who cross 59 years. Those who above 59 years are called aged. They do not have capacity to work also. Understand? When these group of people we find in population much more, then government should focus on them to provide their needs. Especially in this age group, we see the people suffering with some health problems, right? Like heart related problems, there is BP, sugar, like this some problems will come. So if these are much more in population, then government should create some hospitals, medicines required for this group of people. Understand? Right? And we see your certain people who work in organized sector, they get a pension after their retirement, right? But what about 92 percentage of the people who are in unorganized sector? For them, there is no pension and there is no retirement. They work up to their life and stand, which is surviving. They have to fight every day. They have to fight with their capacity to get fulfill of the needs. We see that laborers, agriculture laborers, domestic workers, construction workers like Rajeshwari and other usually continue as long as physically they can do. So this group also depends on their families for the support. That is old age group, right? They are not able to work, so they depend on their family member. That is on working age, right? And their needs are related with much of the medical expenses. They have different health related problems which need much of the much of the medicines. So in this age, if they suffer with health problem, then their medical expenses will be high. That should be overcome with the working age who are providing everything to this old age, right? So that is the thing I stated. Working age is very important in the age structure upon which children and aged group will depend on it. Understand? Right? If you look at this graph there, what do you see in this graph? It shows male and female in different age groups. On x